The global climate is changing. One of the areas where this is being felt most acutely is the Sahel region of West Africa, on the edge of the Sahara Desert. The population are largely dependent on agriculture and livestock, so the 3 to 4 months of summer rains are vital to survival. If these alter, food shortages and disasters can follow.
This year we had floods in August. It was a disaster. Then suddenly the rains ended, but farmers needed 2 more rains for the crops to grow, but they never came. Now you are never sure when the first rains will start and the last rains will end.
The people of the Sahel are used to variable rainfall, but recent studies suggest that summer rains are ending earlier. Droughts are now seen in 2 out of every 5 years, and incidences of flash flooding have increased. These all destroy harvests.
When I was young, this area was already very dry, but not as dry as it is now, which makes it difficult to grow good crops. And when the rain comes, it comes with such strength that it washes away all the nutrients from the land, and nothing can grow or ripen.
Climate change is likely to lead to an increase in these extreme weather conditions. The best way of averting disaster is to help people adapt to these new conditions. This has been put into practice by a local NGO in Burkina Faso, who are using tried and tested disaster risk reduction activities with a few new initiatives to help communities adapt to the changing climate. The effects of climate change, combined with deforestation, can trigger a cycle of erosion leading to desertification, but simple techniques can help to retain moisture, reduce erosion and support the growth of crops, for example planting trees. And the rock wall and the technique called demi-lunes or half-moons you see being constructed here.
This technique is called demi-lune. You use it to trap rain when it falls. When it rains, the water runs between the 2 demi-lunes and flows into the next one. The hole holds the water for some days so the seeds can grow.
This is very dry land. Before I started using these techniques, you couldn't find grass or trees. These techniques nourish the soil and retain the water so that trees and plants can grow. It is now rejuvenated and very green again.
Simple water conservation and irrigation mean that farmers are no longer reliant on the timing of the rains and can even plan for more than 1 harvest a year.
Formerly, we were doing our gardens with wells, but we noticed the water from the wells was not enough. So we contacted the NGO and asked for support to build a dam. Thanks to the dam, our income has increased and I have doubled the plot of land for cultivation. So with better income, I can send my kids to school.
Fertilisers and pesticides can be made locally and organically to maximise the growth of crops without harming the environment. Biopesticides are made from a mixture of ground up nuts and water.
Contrary to what others are doing, here we are using organic pesticides. The bees go around the vegetable garden pollinating, and the pesticides don't bother them. While there, they're using chemical pesticides, especially in the cotton fields, where whole populations of bees have been killed.
Improved farming techniques can combat the problems caused by climate change and also increase production. And increasing off-farm opportunities is another solution. With new ways of making a living, communities are no longer totally reliant on rain-fed agriculture for their livelihoods, making them more resilient to climatic shocks.
This is a shea butter production unit. We're working with women from poor families. Burkina Faso is a very poor country, and poor people have trouble getting an income. This project helps women make an income to take care of themselves and their families, paying for health care, school fees and clothing.
With development comes an increased need for fuel, but with it comes a responsibility to promote clean and sustainable technology. Clean energy sources such as solar power are non-polluting and have many benefits. They help to reduce deforestation and can improve people's livelihoods and well-being.
These solar fridges are meant for rural areas. Health professionals are able to keep vaccines safely. In any case, in urban areas it can also be used for health products, including vaccines, and other stuff such as food. These fridges are made in our workshop. We also make other devices like dryers for fruit and vegetables, water pumps for market gardens, and incubators for egg production.
Solar panels can also provide clean energy to poor communities not on the grid system.
We have 18 solar panels on the roof. Each solar panel is connected to a regulator which charges the batteries. For example, the traditional profession in these villages is basket weaving. Before they made 1 or 2 baskets a day, but now they have solar lighting. They can have an extra 5 to 6 hours to make baskets. Economically, this is very good. Between solar power and oil lamps, there is no comparison. Solar power is ecological and there is no pollution. In the long term, it is 10 times more economical than using oil.
Climate change is a serious issue facing the people of Burkina Faso. Their future depends on how well they can adapt to these new realities. The country's government has drawn up a national plan of action that places great emphasis on risk reduction techniques, such as improving irrigation and soil conservation, and the promotion of new technologies. Disaster risk reduction programs, like the one shown in this film, have helped to achieve these aims at a local level. However, much more funding and technological support is needed to scale up these activities and ensure that there's a genuine impact across the whole country.